questions as well. Thanks very much indeed. Thank you. So our next submitter is Helen Tait. Helen, thank you for joining us. And you've got 3 minutes to present to us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. I did submit on several topics in relation to the long-term plan, but because of the time limitation, I'm only going to speak to the one that I feel most strongly about, and that's the proposal to reduce library hours, library services more widely, but particularly the library hours. And I want to draw your attention to the Council's own objectives of providing equality of access. I'll just quote the exact words because they're very nice words. Ensure equitable access and inclusion in quality opportunities by managing affordability, locality and accessibility. And it's those last words that I'm concerned about. Page 58 of the draft plan sets out the proposal for reducing library hours. On the basis that it says we've looked at when our libraries are at their busiest and when we can reduce opening hours with minimal impact on how and when residents like to use their local library. And it also notes these changes would also mean that library opening hours are more consistent across the city. Well, yes, they are more consistent. They're consistently closed. So people will have the certainty of knowing they can't get library services rather than having to check on which libraries might be open to suit them. The proposals will have no community libraries open after 6 o'clock and Tūranga only open until 7 o'clock. And this means that for families who want to bring young children to the libraries, or for students who don't have suitable study capability at home, or for business people who can only use the library in evening hours for either business research or their own recreational reading, that they'll have no opportunity to use any of the city's libraries. And I have some, I think, capability to speak on library matters. I've, in the distant past, been a manager of public library services for more than 20 years, including Auckland City Libraries and the State Library of Victoria. But my concern is, just as a Christchurch resident and knowing the proud history of public library service that Christchurch has, it's been regarded not just as a national leader but an international leader in provision of public library service. And I just see this as an extremely disappointing reduction in service. The point about minimal impact, it might be a minimal impact in terms of numbers, but the people who will be impacted are key members of the community who need those public library services more than anybody else and who can benefit from them. So I think a numbers game is a bit of a nonsense in this case. And you're also proposing to close 2 of the smaller libraries at Aranui and Sumner, one serving a particularly disadvantaged community and the other one distant from other library services. And at the same time as you're stopping people from getting to a physical library, reducing the online fingertip library service to be provided on weekdays only. So I strongly urge you to reconsider what you're doing in not living up to your own stated goals of providing access and accessibility to all of the citizens of Christchurch.
Thank you very much. A very clear submission. Thanks for coming along and speaking to it. You're one of a number of people that's brought us almost exactly that same message. So thank you very much indeed for doing so. Thank you.
I know how busy councillors are and how much you've got to read. So I've got a slightly reduced version of what I said that I'm...
Our staff will be able to distribute that for you and we'll certainly be reading it. So thank you very much indeed. Thank you.